Hello Libras and welcome to your Tarology 33 bonus love reading for September 2018. This reading is just to thank you guys for having the most likes, new subscribers, and views for the August videos. So the spread we have in front of us is different than the spread I use for the normal readings. This is a past, present, future spread. And the deck I use for the tarot is also different. It's the Lover's Path Tarot, and then we do have an oracle card that we'll read at the end, just like with the regular readings. But for those of you who don't know the layout, this card here would represent your past influence on the potential relationship, their past influence on the potential relationship, your present influence on the potential relationship, their present influence on the potential relationship, and then the likely outcome for the potential relationship. And then we have the bottom of the deck, and then the oracle card we'll read last to tie everything together. So at the bottom of the deck you have Ace of Coins. This points to a potential new start, and it would be, something a little bit more tangible if you think about the Pentacles energy. Alright, so let's look at your card for the past first. So the card in your past position is Wisdom. This is actually the equivalent of the High Priestess card. So the feeling that I get here, especially looking at the actual artwork for the card, is that the person probably extended an offer to you, and maybe, at the time you could have been focused on school, let's say, for some of you, or maybe even you were just trying to get more information on the person. You weren't necessarily sure one way or the other if you wanted to accept their offer. Or maybe just trusting your intuition, you decided that this wasn't the right time, right? So it could have just been a timing factor there. And so, that's why it looks like she has her back turned to him. So it looks like you guys are in close proximity, but, for whatever reason, you were just focused on something else at the time other than the relationship. All right, and if we look at their past influence on the situation, the potential relationship, we have the Ten of Cups. So this to me leads me to believe that they were the ones that extended a love offer to you. For some of you, this could mean that this is someone you were already with in the past, and maybe you're considering reconnecting with them. For others of you, what this could mean is that they were otherwise involved. So maybe they were in another relationship in the past, and that's why you didn't accept any offer from them, or maybe you've always had a thing for them, but you never spoke about it because you knew, okay, they're in another relationship, I can't really, pursue it with them. That's the vibe that I'm getting there. But like I said, it could totally just be the fact that they made an offer to you, and it was a serious offer, but for whatever reason, like I said, maybe you were just focused on other things, or you needed some more time to think about it. At the time in the past, you didn't accept it. But if we look at the present influence on the potential relationship for you guys, you have the Seven of Staves. So to me, this often means, this could be conflict or competition. But usually if you think about the Rider-Waite, for example, it's a little bit more clear there. But, you see the six wands below them, and then they're, on an elevated platform with their wand. So the way I refer to that card as having the upper hand. So it could be that, this person could be popular. They could have a lot of people who want to get with them. And if that's the case, it looks like you're saying that you're actually throwing your name into the mix and saying, you're pursuing them at this point. You're actually taking action, as opposed to in the past where, maybe you were focused on other things. This looks like you would actually be making an effort to pursue them at this point. Now, in their present influence on a potential relationship, we have another seven. We have the Seven of Cups. So this was part of what made me think that this could be a person that has a lot of options on the table. And if that's the case, they may just be feeling a little bit confused too. It might not even be so much a lot of options. They just may be thrown off by the fact that in the past they offered you all of this and you declined, and now you're all of a sudden you're pursuing them. So maybe they're actually just trying to think it over and see if they're ready for that at this time. If that's the case, between the Ace of Coins being at the bottom of the deck and then what we have in the likely outcome position, that does seem to be a good indicator that things could move forward, because in the potential outcome position we have the Two of Staves. So this is the equivalent of the Two of Wands in the Rider-Waite deck. You could see the artwork somewhat similar. Guy's holding something in his hand and looking out over the horizon. To me, this is an Aries card, particularly represents between 0 and 10 degrees of Aries. And if you think of Aries energy, that's the beginning of spring. That's when new things come to life, right? A new start. So this being in the likely outcome position tells me that you guys most likely will actually start a relationship with this person. If we're looking at a timeline as well, since this is for September, you will have a full moon in your opposite sign, and it's going to be at about, I think, 1 degrees Aries too. So very early on, went with the sun in your sign. So the last week of September, if we're looking for a timeline, that might be when this actual connection takes place. All right, and now let's read the Oracle card to tie everything together. The Oracle card that you got is TikTok. And there's the artwork for it. And the number is 30, for those of you if that holds any significance for you. Maybe it'll actually be the 30th of September, because the full moon energy, it's going to be a little bit before then, but the full moon energy can last for a few days too. So this could just be saying at the very end of September, that would be when this would take place. Maybe some of you born on September 30th, for example, maybe that holds some significance for you. But let's read the message from the book. It says, timelessness, divine timing, immeasurable time. The Oracle's message. When humans created time, everything changed and contracted. People have come to look at life in a linear way, imagining that the past is behind them and the future is ahead of them. But what if that isn't true at all? What if everything, creativity, beauty, chaos, and order, were happening now in a glorious timelessness? You have all the time in the world to co-create the life you desire, so release your agenda. Let go of your need to shape each moment to your expectations, knowing that what is yours will never be withheld from you. Miracles are right here, now, and always show up when you need them right on time. So, maybe that's what this is saying. Maybe in the past, maybe it wasn't that they were involved with someone else, but maybe you were just overthinking things. So that's what they're saying as far as, release your agenda, let go of the need to shape each moment. Maybe you were just so worried about everything being perfect. So, you just ended up waiting. And then maybe because of that, as we move into the present energy, that has them confused, because then all of a sudden you change your mind and shift gears. And now they're like, well, wait a minute. I thought that you weren't into it, So it doesn't seem like it'll be a big deal if that's the case, but it's more of just a warning for you guys if that's how you're feeling. If you really do want the person, they want you, you're both available, then, try not to overthink it, I guess would be the message there. And since this is a love reading, we'll look at the relationship message. It says, love, the fulfillment of desire, and even the body's reproductive cycles have their own timetable. Some things are preordained and cannot be coerced. Everything has its season, its divine and appropriate timing, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. Remember that you always have enough time and love to find it, to nurture it, to give and receive it. Its clock is eternal and ticks according to the beating of your heart in perfect rhythm. Isn't that wonderful to know? Love is always right on time. So, that certainly seems to go along with the general spread too, which is to say, now you're actually making the effort and, they're confused, but it looks like what ends up happening is eventually through that energy, you guys make it, and then you have the Two of Staves. So, like I said, this could have been someone that you've had feelings for a long time. And like I said, maybe they were otherwise involved. Maybe it was even you were away at school if you guys are, college age. Maybe you were it was a long distance thing, so you didn't want to do it at the time, but now you're done and you're ready to pursue it. But whatever the case may be, like I said, it just looks like the timing wasn't necessarily right. But with this in the outcome position, with the Ace of Coins at the bottom of the deck too, and with this, it looks like it's saying the timing would be right. Like we said, the full moon in your opposite sign towards the end of September could point to, for those of you who are single, sometimes that doesn't necessarily mean ending relationships, for example. It just means a change in your status. So if you were single, end of the month, by the end of the month, you guys would be together most likely. All right, so we'll wrap up there. And thanks again, like I said, for all the likes, subscribes, and views. And I'll talk to you all next month. All right.